The very first truth you must embrace is this: your life is not a race, it's a marathon. In a world obsessed with speed and instant results, we get caught in the trap of feeling like if we're not moving at breakneck pace, we're somehow falling behind. But the greatest successes in life, whether in relationships, career, or personal growth, never come from rushing. They come from endurance, patience, and consistent effort over time. When you think of a marathon, you understand it's about pacing yourself. It's about knowing that there will be moments when your energy dips, when your legs get tired, and when the finish line seems miles away. But the champion marathoner doesn't give up or sprint wildly out of control. They find their rhythm, they conserve their energy, and they focus on putting one foot in front of the other. That's exactly what your life requires. Too often, we compare ourselves to others who seem to be winning quickly. We see the overnight successes, the viral moments, the rapid promotions, and we think, why not me? What's wrong with me? But the truth is, those highlights are just a snapshot. They don't show the years of preparation, the failures, the setbacks, or the slow and steady progress behind the scenes. Real success is built brick by brick, mile by mile. You've got to recognize that the pace you set is uniquely yours. You have your own strengths, your own struggles, and your own timeline. When you stop trying to sprint at someone else's pace, you stop exhausting yourself with unnecessary pressure and self-doubt. Instead, you gain clarity and focus on what really matters: your growth, your progress, your purpose. The marathon mindset is empowering because it shifts your focus from short-term results to long-term fulfillment. It encourages resilience, teaches patience, and cultivates wisdom. It helps you develop discipline to keep going even when the excitement fades and the journey feels tough. That's the kind of mindset that creates lasting change and unstoppable momentum. So, if you're feeling rushed or overwhelmed by the pressure to make it fast, take a deep breath and remember this: your life is a marathon, not a sprint. Own that. Trust the process. Respect your journey, because the power is in how you pace yourself for the long haul, not how fast you try to run someone else's race. When you fully embrace this truth, you free yourself from the stress of comparison and impatience. You step into your own power and purpose, and that's when you truly start winning, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. True power isn't about how fast you move or how loudly you can shout your success. It's about owning your pace. It's about knowing yourself deeply enough to understand your natural rhythm, your strengths, and your limits, and then moving forward with absolute intention. When you control your pace, you control your energy, your focus, and ultimately your destiny. So many people confuse power with speed, thinking that if they just hustle harder and faster, success will follow. But that kind of speed without direction is like a car with no steering wheel, fast, but likely to crash or run out of gas. Real power comes from mastering the art of pacing yourself so that every move you make is deliberate, strategic, and sustainable. When you own your pace, you build consistency, and consistency is the foundation of mastery. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by burning out in a week or a month. They got there by showing up day after day, putting in the work, learning from their mistakes, and refining their approach. Your power grows as you show up for yourself in a way that's sustainable over the long haul. Owning your pace means saying no to the pressure to keep up with everyone else's timeline. It means tuning out the noise, the hustle culture, the social media highlight reels, the impatience of the crowd, and tuning into your own voice and your own goals. When you do that, you reclaim your power from external expectations and focus it inward. This kind of power is peaceful. It's rooted in confidence because you know you're moving exactly as you should, not rushed or pushed by outside forces. It creates clarity because your actions are aligned with your values and your vision. And it creates unstoppable momentum because you are fully engaged, fully committed, and fully in control of your journey. Remember, power is a feeling, a vibration of control, of energy, of purpose. And when you own your pace, you control that vibration. You decide when to accelerate, when to pause, and when to push. That's mastery over your life. And that's what unleashes your true potential. So today, commit to owning your pace. Stop chasing after someone else's timeline or definition of success. Find your rhythm, move with intention, and watch as your power grows beyond anything you imagined possible. In life, speed can be thrilling. It feels like you're making progress, getting things done, moving fast toward your goals. But let me tell you, speed without strategy is like running blindfolded. You might be moving fast, but you have no idea if you're going in the right direction. That's why strategy beats speed every single time. Look at the most powerful creatures in nature: the lion, the eagle, the shark. They don't just act quickly, they act with precision, timing, and purpose. The lion doesn't chase every animal it sees, it studies, it waits, it chooses the perfect moment to strike. That strategy saves energy and guarantees success. When you apply that same principle to your life, your results become not just fast, but lasting. Too often we get caught in the trap of hustle culture, where speed is glorified and burnout is a badge of honor. But what happens when you move too fast without a plan? You burn out. You make costly mistakes. You lose your way. Strategy is the antidote to that chaos. It's the blueprint that guides your actions so that every step forward brings you closer to your ultimate goal. When you develop a strategy, you're not just reacting to circumstances, you're proactively shaping your future. Strategy lets you anticipate obstacles, leverage your strengths, and align your efforts with your vision. It transforms frenetic energy into focused power. And that's how you build momentum that lasts, not just bursts of speed that fade away. Remember, it's not about how fast you get there. It's about how well you get there. Moving with strategy means you conserve your energy, build your skills, and create sustainable growth. It means you stay in control and avoid distractions that pull you off course. That kind of deliberate action is what separates winners from the rest. So, if you feel pressure to move fast, pause and ask yourself, is this pace backed by a clear strategy? Am I moving toward my goals or just moving to move? When you prioritize strategy over speed, you empower yourself to make smarter decisions, avoid burnout, and create breakthroughs that last. Own your strategy, own your pace, and watch how your power multiplies. Because in the long game of life, it's not the fastest who win, it's the smartest and most strategic. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you constantly measure your progress against someone else's, you give away your power. You lose sight of your unique journey and the gifts only you can bring to the world. If you want to own your pace and own your power, the first step is to stop comparing yourself to others. Every person's journey is completely different. You don't know their struggles, their sacrifices, or their timing. What looks like an overnight success is often years of unseen effort and setbacks. When you compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, you're setting yourself up for frustration and disappointment. Comparison fuels doubt and fear. You start asking, am I good enough? Am I moving fast enough? Why haven't I reached where they are? Those questions can paralyze you. They distract you from taking action and rob you of the confidence to trust your own process. The truth is, your growth, your success, and your happiness depend on your ability to focus inward. When you stop comparing, you begin to see your progress clearly. You appreciate the steps you've taken, the lessons you've learned, and the strength you've built. You become your own biggest supporter, not your own worst critic. Remember, The only person you need to compete with is the person you were yesterday. Every day you have the opportunity to get a little stronger, a little wiser, and a little closer to your goals. That's where your real power lies, inside your personal growth and consistent progress. When you stop comparing, you free yourself from the pressure to fit someone else's mold. You embrace your unique talents, your own pace, and your authentic path. And that's when you step into a new level of confidence, energy, and unstoppable momentum. So today, make the decision to own your pace, honor your journey, and celebrate your progress, because the only race that matters is the one you run with purpose and passion. One of the biggest secrets to lasting success is learning to celebrate small progress. Most people get discouraged because they only focus on the finish line, the big goals, the huge wins. But in reality, it's the small steps, the tiny victories, the daily wins that build momentum and create unstoppable power over time. Imagine trying to climb a mountain. You wouldn't expect to reach the summit in one giant leap, right? You take it one step at a time, celebrating each ledge you reach, each milestone you pass. That's exactly how your journey works. Every small win is a signal that you're moving forward, that you're growing, that you're becoming the person you want to be. When you celebrate small progress, you fuel your motivation. Your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical reinforcing positive behavior and pushing you to keep going. It creates a cycle of success where each achievement, no matter how small, propels you closer to your ultimate vision. Ignoring small progress is like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. You keep pouring in effort, but you never notice the water rising. When you acknowledge and celebrate each step forward, you patch that hole. You build confidence, strengthen your mindset, and keep your energy high. Remember, greatness isn't born overnight, it's built daily. The power lies in consistency, in showing up every day and moving a little bit closer to your dreams. When you honor that process, you create resilience, discipline, and an unstoppable momentum that no obstacle can derail. So don't wait for the big wins to feel proud. Celebrate your courage, your persistence, your progress in every moment. Own those wins because they are the building blocks of your power and your success. Celebrate your journey. Celebrate your pace. Celebrate YOU. That's how you own your power and create a life of fulfillment and unstoppable energy. When you own your pace, you tap into a deep reservoir of power that is unstoppable. This power isn't about external validation or fleeting bursts of energy. It's about a consistent, unshakable force that drives you forward no matter what obstacles stand in your way. It's the power of control, clarity, and confidence all rolled into one. Think about it. When you set your own pace, you're no longer reacting to the chaos around you. You're no longer a victim of outside pressures or unrealistic expectations. Instead, you become the master of your time, your energy, and your choices. This mastery is where true power lies. It's the power to decide how, when, and why you move. Owning your pace means you can sustain your effort without burning out. You know when to push hard and when to rest. You're not driven by fear or comparison, but by a deep understanding of your own rhythm and needs. This balance creates endurance and momentum that can't be stopped by setbacks or distractions. This kind of power is magnetic. When you're fully in control of your journey, people notice. They are drawn to your energy, your focus, and your authenticity. You inspire others not because you're the fastest or the loudest, but because you're steady, intentional, and unstoppable in your pursuit of greatness. Remember, the world rewards those who keep going, who don't give up when the going gets tough. When you own your pace, you build that resilience. You create habits and systems that support your long-term vision, and that's what turns dreams into reality. So if you want to unlock unstoppable power, start by owning your pace today. Let go of the pressure to move faster than you're ready. Trust your process. Celebrate your progress and keep moving forward with confidence and clarity. When you do that, nothing can stop you, not failure, not doubt, not fear. Because owning your pace means owning your power. And owning your power means owning your life. So here's what I want you to remember as you step back into your life today. Your journey is yours, unique, powerful, and unstoppable. When you own your pace, you own the power to create the life you've always dreamed of. Don't rush. Don't compare. Don't let the noise of the world steal your focus. Instead, step into your rhythm. Move with intention. Celebrate every win, big or small. Because when you control your pace, you control your destiny. You unlock a power so fierce, so steady, that nothing in this world can hold you back. Own your pace. Own your power. And watch as you transform your life into the extraordinary masterpiece it was meant to be. Now go out there and live it with passion, with purpose, and with unstoppable power.